Hello, sysfailure here again, and welcome back to the Ultimate Command series. In today's episode, we're having a look at the Worldborder command, that is /Worldborder, that first came in Snapshot 14W17A and full release 1.8. You may notice the bits up here are a little unusual compared to any others. That's because the Worldborder has so many different syntaxes. I think that's the plural syntaxes, yes. What we got? 8 of them actually. They've taken up all the sort of blocks around here and I've had to add some extra ones to fit them in. But it is, as usual, downloadable in the description below, and you can play with this in all previous tutorials. And any questions, stick them in the comments and I'll do what I can to answer them. So what is the Worldborder? Well, it's a border around the world. The entire world does actually have a border around it these days, but you're never likely to encounter it. So we'll look at the first part. /Worldborder, as we said, is the basic command itself. And the first one we're looking at is center. And that sets an X and a Z. And that is where in the world it will center the Worldborder, no matter how big it is. If it's too wide or 2 million wide, it doesn't matter. In this case, this one is setting it to this relative point here. So the Worldborder has been set to 11.5 and minus 494.5, which is here. So we'll have a look at the next little bit. We've got Worldborder set. What set does is sets, well, the size. So I've got one here that sets it to 60 million, which I believe is the maximum possible size. And one here that sets it to 10. Let's press 10, see what happens. There we go. Welcome to the Worldborder. If you've never seen one before, this is what it looks like. And it literally is a Worldborder. As you can see, I can't go out of the world. Set it back to 60 million, and it's gone. Also, when you do set it to something like 10, the 10 blocks wide is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and actually 11. But that's because it's the center point, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each direction. Slightly odd like that, so whatever border you want, just sort of ignore the middle block and double the distance from it. Will that make sense? Now, you can't interact with stuff outside the Worldborder, but this one here is actually technically just outside. Well, just inside, sorry, because that's where the border is sitting. You can set the border to be fractions of a block if you want. So you see the border was expanding there. It was green. When it shrinks, it goes red. So this is the next variation on Worldborder set. So I've set it to 20, and unlike these ones, which were instantaneous, we've also given it a time, which is 10 seconds. So I've just set it back to 10, boom, instant change, hit that, and it's now expanding out to 20 over 10 seconds. Wait for that to be done. There we go. And we can do it the other way. So if we set it to 10 over 10 seconds, there we go. So there's our red border, and it's shrinking back down, like so. And you can activate this anytime you like. You notice if one is already in process, it instantly finishes, and then it sets the other one off. So that is the set part of it. Now we have Worldborder add. Simply add 10 blocks. So if we press the button, there you go. Now 10 blocks bigger. And again, now 40 blocks, and so on. You keep adding 10, or however many you want. 100, 1, whatever. You can also add minus numbers, so minus 10. So there, it's back down to 30, back down to 20. So that is your Worldborder add. Same as with set, you've got a time variable as well. So this one will add 10 over 10 seconds. And that one will add minus 10, or basically taking off 10 over 10 seconds. So if we press that one where we are now, taking 10 seconds, that will shrink it in from wherever it is for 10 blocks. And if hit it again, it'll do the same thing again, and it'll keep doing it every time you hit it. Next up, we have Worldborder Get. Literally all it does, you press the button, have a look inside there. The world border is currently 30 blocks wide. If we do that and hit say now, have a look, it's 32, 35, 37, and so on. You'll notice it didn't actually tell me what the world border is, because if you run it yourself, you will get the feedback. But if you run it from a command block, you won't. So that's a little definition there. Now, these, I have a couple of things. To be honest, these are marginally glitchy, I feel. But this is the warning distance, so how close you have to be the world border before it warns you that something is going to happen to you. So the world border warning, let's put a distance of 5, 10, and 0. So I've set it to 0. You notice only when I get right on the world border does my screen go red to warn me that it's there. Set it to 5. You see as we get about 5 blocks away, it starts going really quite red. 10. Much wider area for the red fade, like so. Change them out to 5. We also have, as well as, because obviously that one's warning distance, we have, if I can just, give me a moment whilst I make it a bit bigger. We've got world border warning time. So if I set it to 2 seconds, then what that should do is when the border shrinks, it warns me if it's going to go over me within 2 seconds. Let's try warning distance to 0 and shrink it. So it should warn me when within 2 seconds it'll pass over me. So it's going red, see a couple of seconds beforehand. You'll also notice I'm actually outside the world border now. I can wander around outside here. You can't actually do anything once you're out here. And when you get back inside the world border, you can't get back out again. If we set it to 10, let's make this a bit wider again. Let's just add. Right. So now, let's see, add minus 10. You'll see I've already gone a bit red now. So I've effectively got 10 seconds warning that that will be going over me. Although actually, it wasn't going to go over me. But you get the idea. This is the sort of, because it is a gradual fade in of the red, then it's a bit tricky to know exactly what's going on with it. But the simple fact is it should be within a certain distance of standing near the border. Your screen will warn you you need it. And the other one, which is the other side there, is that the border will pass over your location, so you better move within that time. So 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Right, let's get that back out there again. See if we can get to the next one. Right, let's set the world border out a bit. Right, that's better. Now, we're going to be looking at damage buffer and then damage amount. So for these, I'm going to go into survival. There I am. So let's see, the world border at minus 20 over 10 seconds. So it's now coming in. I'll just stand on this lovely little block here. Right, I'm now outside the world. And ow, 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 ow. You see, if I go any further away than here, I instantly start taking damage, which is audible to convince me to get back inside. So that is a damage buffer of 1 block. If I set the damage buffer to 20 blocks, and let's just get that back in again, or just hang around here, that's fine. You notice I'm further outside, and I'm not taking any damage, as I've set it to 20 blocks. Now if I get... There we go. So over here, ow, painful. So that gives us a bit of a buffer to try and get ourselves back inside the world border when required. Final little bits I'm going to look at is the damage amount. And I can't open that because I'm not in game mode 1. Right. So I forgot to look at these. So world border damage buffer, and then amount of blocks. And world border damage amount. And that is the amount of damage dealt to you per block beyond the damage buffer. So if you're 1 block beyond the damage buffer, you'll keep getting 0.1. If you were 2 blocks, you'd get 0.2, 3 blocks, 0.3, and so on. Or in this case, you would get 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on again. So that's 10 times the damage of that. So let's see the difference. You've seen a 0.1. If we just shrink the world border back down again. Oops. Game mode 0. Right, shrink it down. And our damage buffer is 20. So, not bad in the damage there. Expand that back out a bit. In fact, I could do with some health. Away from movement. So we will go ahead and set it now to a damage amount of 1. Now, if you're playing with the map yourself and you do manage to kill yourself doing this, which is perfectly likely, to be honest, if you're not careful, the world spawn point, which is actually outside the border, don't worry about that. It will actually respawn you inside the border for the benefit of the fact that you don't get stuck out there, which is nice. Right, so shrink it back down again. Whoops. Right, back to full health. There we go. So we just wander out to our 20 point. And see, if we go beyond it, the damage substantially increases. Also notice you can't activate command blocks outside the world border either. Pretty much can't do a lot. Let's get rid of the world border again by basically setting it back to the 60 million. And that's it. That is the world border command. Hopefully it made sense. If not, sort of rewind, watch some of the earlier bits. And as mentioned earlier, you can download this world in the description below so you can have a play with these yourself and see exactly how they work. And any questions or comments, stick it down below and I will do my best to answer them. So as per usual, thanks for watching and bye bye.